You open the headline. Some big firm says you need $1.46 million to retire. You look at your account. The number staring back is nowhere close. If you are 60 plus and trying to figure out whether what you actually have is going to carry you through, I want you to stay with me. Because I keep seeing the same panic and the same wrong answer. The headline is not your retirement, the headline is an average, and averages get pulled around by people who have $10 million sitting in a brokerage account. Here is what almost no one is telling you. The typical mid-60s household in this country is not even close to $1 million. According to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the median retirement account balance for households aged 65 to 74 is $200,000. That is the middle. Half of households that age have less. So when you ask, is $200,000 enough to retire on in 2026, you are asking the question half the country should be asking. And the honest answer is yes, it can work, just not the way the headlines tell you to think about it. $200,000 works when it is paired with Social Security and structured so you are not forced to sell assets in a down market. The dollar number alone does not decide your retirement. How that money is built decides your retirement. That is the whole video, and we are going to walk it. The Federal Reserve groups retired households into wealth bands, and your band changes how every part of daily life feels. So picture 6 rooms in a house. Different furniture, different stress levels, different math. We are walking through all 6, and you are going to know which room you are standing in by the end. The mistake almost everyone makes is thinking the room is decided by the number on the statement. It is not. It is decided by where the income comes from. An $800,000 portfolio is solving a sustainability problem. A $10 million portfolio is solving a tax problem. Same word, retirement, completely different work. Room 1. The bottom 25% of households aged 65 to 74. In 2022, the cutoff sat between $115,000 and $125,000 in net worth, including home equity. Income here is mostly Social Security. The average retired 68-year-old in 2026 brings home $1,907.21 a month after the standard Medicare Part B premium of $202.90. Annualize that, and it is $22,886 a year. About 29% of retirees have nothing saved beyond Social Security at all, so if you have anything in an account, you are already ahead of nearly a third of the country. You might be thinking these are people who just did not try. That framing is wrong, and the data shows it. Many here worked 30 or 40 years in jobs that did not offer a retirement plan. The good news at this tier, and there is some, taxes are usually low. $22,000 of Social Security falls under the combined income thresholds where benefits start getting taxed, which begin at $25,000 for singles and $32,000 for couples. The senior single standard deduction in 2026 is $16,100. So the federal tax bite at this tier is often near zero, which matters when every dollar counts. Now, if your $200,000 sits here as savings on top of Social Security, you have just pushed yourself into a different room. Room 2, the 25th to 50th percentile of households aged 65 to 74. Net worth ranges from about $115,000 up to $439,000. The median retirement account balance for the entire age group sits at $200,000. So if you have $200,000 saved plus Social Security plus some home equity, this is your room. Picture it, you and your spouse. Combine Social Security around $3,500 a month, a $200,000 portfolio. The 4% rule says you can pull $8,000 a year from that portfolio in year 1, adjusted for inflation after that. Add it up. You are looking at roughly $50,000 a year in gross income. That is workable. That is not poverty. But there is a trap waiting in this room, and it has a name. Sequence of returns risk. The risk that the market drops 20% in your first or second year of retirement while you are also pulling money out. If you are selling shares in a down market to pay your power bill, those shares are gone. They never recover for you. A bad 2028 could permanently shrink a $200,000 portfolio in a way no good market in 2033 can undo. That is the one bad year trap, and it is exactly why the question is $200,000 enough depends on structure, not size. There is also a tax wrinkle landing soon. Required minimum distributions kick in at age 73. The IRS makes you pull money from your traditional retirement accounts whether you need it or not, and they tax it as ordinary income. For a $200,000 balance, the bite is small. But if your account grows or you inherited one, that forced withdrawal can shove you into the next tax bracket overnight. Room 3, the 50th to 75th percentile of households aged 65 to 74. Net worth from $393,000 up to $1.23 million. This is where retirement starts to feel like retirement. A $600,000 portfolio at the 4% rule generates $24,000 a year. Stack on combined Social Security of $40,000 and you are at $64,000 a year. The mortgage may be gone. The grandkids' birthday gifts are not a budget event. Stress shifts from, can I cover the bill, to, what does the market do this quarter? You might be thinking, should you pay off the mortgage to land in this room with peace of mind? Maybe. The math is not always on your side. If your mortgage rate is 3% and your portfolio earns more than that long term, paying it off early can leave money on the table. But the psychological math is real. A friend of mine carried a 2.5% mortgage into retirement specifically because the rate was lower than what his bonds were paying. And he still tells me he wishes he had killed the loan anyway, just to sleep better. That is not irrational. That is information about how you are wired. Room 4, the 75th to 90th percentile. Net worth from $1.15 million up to $3 million. This is the room where the rules of the game are supposed to change, and they don't. This is the millionaire anxiety paradox. You crossed $1 million. You assumed the worry would stop. It did not. Why? Because your income mechanism did not change. A $1.5 million portfolio at 4% generates $60,000 a year. Real money, still completely dependent on the market not crashing in the wrong year. You are still selling shares to live, just bigger shares. The Northwestern Mutual 2025 Planning and Progress Study reported that 54% of Generation X believed they would not be financially prepared. Half of the people closest to retirement say they are not ready. So if you crossed $1 million and still feel uneasy, you are not crazy. You are normal. Then there is a hidden fee almost no one warns you about at this tier. IRMAA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount on Medicare. Once your modified adjusted gross income passes $109,000 as a single filer or $218,000 as a couple, your Medicare Part B premium climbs above the $202.90 standard rate. At higher tiers, it scales all the way to $689.90 per month per person. For a couple, that hidden bill can be over $1,000 a month you did not budget for. You might think $1 million saver must be a tiny club. They are. According to the Federal Reserve, only 4.6% of U.S. households held retirement accounts worth $1 million or more. That is roughly 1 in 22 households, so if you are in this room, you are rare. And yet, still anxious, because the structure has not shifted. Room 5, the 90th to 99th percentile. Net worth from $3 million to as much as $22.1 million. This is the room where the income mechanism finally flips. Income is collected from the assets, not extracted by selling them. Dividends arrive, interest arrives, rent arrives, the principal stays. The risk in this room is not the market, the risk is taxes. The net investment income tax is 3.8% on investment income above $200,000 for single filers or $250,000 for joint filers. The maximum Social Security benefit at full retirement age in 2026 is $4,152 a month. But at the fourth IRMAA tier, the Part B premium climbs to $527.50. Net the premium against the benefit, and you are left with about $43,494 a year from Social Security. Still real money, just smaller than the headline. Some people will tell you the market stops mattering up here. That is not quite right. Sequence of returns risk lives in every room. Even $3 million portfolios feel a 30% drawdown in their bones. The difference is, in Room 5, you are not forced to sell into the drop. The income keeps arriving while the prices recover. Room 6, the top 1%, and here the framework breaks, which is why I want to name the edge case. The top 1% threshold is not a single national number. It varies by state, from $2.94 million in Mississippi up to $21.5 million in Hawaii. So the top 1% you read about in a national headline does not describe your neighbor. It describes a statistical distribution. The work in this room is not personal spending, it is legacy. The federal estate and gift tax exemption in 2026 is $15 million per individual, enacted in late 2025. Above that line, the IRS becomes a partner in your estate. Most of you are not in this room. I am not going to spend more time here. I want you back in the room you actually live in. So step back, look at all 6 rooms together. What changes between the anxious rooms and the peaceful ones? It is not the dollar total, it is not even close. The pattern is rooms 1 through 4 sell assets to live. Rooms 5 and 6 collect income from assets. That is the shift, and it does not require $3 million. It is a structural decision you can start making at $200,000 or $500,000 today. Why does that work? Because David Blanchett, head of retirement research at Morningstar, identified a pattern called the retirement spending smile. Real spending tends to drop through the middle of retirement and rise again in the later years. If your income is structured to arrive on its own, not pulled from selling shares, the spending smile is something you ride, not something that drains you. So how do you actually make the shift on what you have? 3 concrete moves, each with honest caveats. First, a Treasury bond ladder. As of April 2026, Treasury bond ladder yields range from 4.05% to 4.3%. On a $100,000 slice, that is roughly $4,000 to $4,300 a year arriving on a schedule with no shares sold. Some corporate ladders approach 4.5% if you are willing to take the credit risk. Second, dividend strategies, but with eyes open. The S&P 500 dividend yield in April 2026 was about 1.09% to 1.2%. That is well below the 2 to 4% number that gets thrown around in retirement videos. So broad market index dividends alone will not fund a retirement. Individual dividend-paying stocks and dividend-focused funds can pay more, but selection matters and the income is not guaranteed. Third, and this is where it gets interesting, IRS regulations permit self-directed IRAs and solo 401ks to hold secured promissory notes, including mortgage notes. A long-standing structure most retirees have never heard of. You become the bank. The borrower pays you interest. The cash arrives without selling principal. It is not the right move for everyone. It requires understanding what you are buying and the risks of being a private lender. But it is a real IRS-permitted path to building income inside a retirement account. What about rental real estate? Honest version. Rental income is not passive. It is running a small business. If you hire a property manager, you will pay roughly 8 to 12% of monthly rent, and you still oversee the manager. The passive income pitch you see online overpromises. The income is real. The work is real. Both are true. So here's where I want to leave you. The 60-plus saver who opened that headline this morning. $200,000 is not a failure. It is the median. It can carry a workable retirement when it sits on top of Social Security and is structured so that a bad market year does not force you to sell. The dollar number is not the answer. The income mechanism is the answer. Tell me in the comments which room you are standing in and whether the description matches how retirement actually feels. The gap between those two answers is the thing worth noticing. I look at every comment and they shape what I make next. This is general education, not personalized advice. Run your specific numbers with a financial advisor and a CPA who can see your full picture before you restructure anything. If $200,000 is the real median, the next question almost everyone asks is how many retirees actually clear $500,000 and what that number really tells you about your readiness. The next video on the screen takes that question apart. I will see you there.